Hey guys, Dustin here, and it's time for another episode of Learn Swedish with me. I know, I feel the same way. So, in this episode we're going to be talking about modal verbs. And if you don't know what those are, it's a verb that describes the way in which an action is performed. Some examples of modal verbs in English are must, need, want to, can, things like that. And in Swedish, they all conjugate irregularly. So today we're going to go through the 8 most, in my opinion, important modal verbs in Swedish, and we'll even go through and I'll show you how they conjugate. So let's jump right into it. The first modal verb is going to be kunna, which translates to can or to be able to. And it conjugates like this. The infinitive is kunna. The present tense is kan, like jag kan. The past is kunde, and the supine is kunnat. Now, if you don't remember from the Group 1 Verbs video, you can click the annotation somewhere. The supine form is like saying have done something. So, in this case, if you would say I have done it or I had done it, it would be jag har kunnat. The next verb is going to be vilja, and that translates to want. The present tense is going to be vill, jag vill. The past tense will be ville, and the supine is going to be velat. Next up is skola, which means shall, or it's a way to talk about something that will happen or a future event. Like jag ska köra, which means I'm going to drive. So the infinitive is skola, the present is ska, the past is skole, and the supine is skolat. Next up is for, which means may. So the infinitive is for, the present is for, the past is fick, and the supine is fort. Next one is behöver, and that means to need. So the infinitive is behöva, the present is behöver, the past is behövde, and the supine is behövt. The next one is böra, which means should. So once again, the infinitive is böra, the present tense is bör, the past tense is böra, and the supine is bört. The next one is tänka, which means to think in the sense of to believe something. So the infinitive is tänka, the present tense is tänker, the past tense is tänkte, and the supine is tänkt. The last on the list today is måste, and that means to have to. Now, this one's a little bit weird. I tried to use måste in a video a while back referring to past tense, and I was informed that it doesn't work that way. Måste cannot be used in past tense. There's other phrases and other ways to say things referring to things that have already happened that way. So, måste pretty much will stay first person. You don't really conjugate it. Måste is måste, and it means to have to. So, in a nutshell, that was modal verbs. One other thing on the subject, a modal verb usually, like in English, will come at the beginning of the sentence. Like if you were going to say, I have to eat. Jag måste äta. So the verb that's going to follow that modal verb, because there's usually going to be a second verb that comes after it, will be in the infinitive, much like it would be in English. Like, I need to sleep. Jag behöver sova. So that's pretty much the way this works. These 8 modal verbs will pretty much get you wherever you need to go. And I know there's a couple more out there, but I just picked the ones that I could see myself using most often. And if you're really curious, you can go and look up the other ones. They're not that hard to find. So that's it for this episode. I really appreciate you joining me once again. And if you really want to talk to me or connect with me or give me questions, comments, suggestions, whatever you want to do, you can hit the comments below, or you can get me on Facebook or Twitter. And I also post some other stuff on Facebook and Twitter that doesn't really relate to YouTube. You can keep up with me that way. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you like what you're seeing, and more Swedish coming at you very soon. Thank you.